Okay, so we're starting a new portion, a new book of the Pentateuch, of the five books of Moses, and this is the book of Bamidbar or Bemidbar, and we're staying with our old and new format. But according to your requests, I added an English translation. This is not necessarily the best English translation, but it is a plain New American Standard version of the translation. And we'll do Hebrew, once regular, once with a melody, and then we'll talk a little bit about the grammar of the verse. Usually we do basic, intermediate, and advanced level of grammatical notes. We might talk about other stuff today. Okay, so let's start the reading. וידבר אדוני אל משה במדבר סיני באוהל מועד באחד לחודש השני בשנה השנית לצאתם מארץ מצרים לאמור. And once with the melody. וידבר אדוני אל משה במדבר סיני באוהל מועד באחד לחודש השני בשנה השנית לצאתם מארץ מצרים לאמור. And now the grammatical remarks. You know what? Before we do that, Bemidbar, which is Bemidbar Sinai, in the wilderness of Sinai. Here we have a construct chain. Sometimes the construct chain reflects a place. So here is one of these cases, Midbar Sinai, the wilderness of Sinai that is located in Sinai, specifying which wilderness. Now, in English, we call this book Numbers. Why do we call it Numbers if the Hebrew name is in the wilderness? Okay. And that is related to a different convention of naming the books of the five books of Moses. And let's talk a little bit about that today. So we have five books. Their Hebrew names are Bereshit, Shemot, Vayikra, Bemidbar, and Devarim, which is, Bereshit means in the beginning, Shemot, names, Vayikra, and he called, Bemidbar or Bamidbar, in the wilderness or in the wilderness of, and Devarim, words or things or matters, in that context, words. But the English names are very different, very different. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. So why do we get such a big difference between the Hebrew names and the English names of the books of the Pentateuch? And that is related to a different naming convention that is used in the English. In the English, we use a naming convention that was also Jewish, but was reflected in the Septuagint. And it is a thematic system rather than the Hebrew, which uses one of the first words of the book here. One of the first distinctive word is Bemidbar, because we have countless portions of the Torah starting with Vaidaber Adonai El Moshe, and the Lord spoke with Moses. If we would call the book and the Lord spoke with Moses, we wouldn't know which section, because there are many of like that. So the first distinctive word is Bemidbar, and this is this naming convention, which was an ancient Near Eastern naming conventions for books. They didn't have titles. The Greek, though, the Hellenistic concept was a thematic one. Okay, so Genesis means creation, and Exodus is going on the road. It's the departure of Egypt, obviously, from Egypt. Leviticus, the book that is related to the Levitical law, to the laws concerning the Levites and the priests. Numbers, the book of Numbers, which we are starting, or by its Greek name, arithmoi, and then in Latin, numeri, and in English, numbers, okay, is based on the fact that there are a lot of numbering, a lot of censuses that occur in the book of Numbers. So this is why it's called Numbers, and Deuteronomy is second law, repeating much of the laws that were given in the previous books. So that's Deuteronomy, second law, repeating of the law. based on the Greek translation of the Hebrew term Mishneh Torah, which is mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy itself. Okay, so that was a little bit about that. And if we're already talking about the book of number, so here we have the number Echad, which is the cardinal number 1 in the masculine form. Okay, Echad is 1. Here, it is used in the sense of the first. Be'echad lachodesh hasheni. Okay, so the cardinal number Echad, which literally is 1, here by the form of Be'echad lachodesh, in the 1 to the month, literally, contextually, meaning on the first of the month, which is the second, lachodesh hasheni. So we had the cardinal number Echad used as an ordinal here in the first, okay, in the masculine singular. Here we have the ordinal number hasheni, the second, playing nicely, behaving as it should be, following the noun it modifies like an adjective in Hebrew. So lachodesh hasheni, to the second month. And again, bashana hashenit, so the noun chodesh is masculine singular, hence the ordinal number following it, okay, would be masculine singular as well. The noun shana is feminine singular, hence the ordinal number following it, the ordinal number would also be feminine singular, the second year. So you can see the difference between shani, second masculine singular, and shanit, second, but referring to a noun which is feminine singular. In this case, shana. And I'll see you in the next weekly portion.